Thank you very much. My next guest is one of the very few filmmakers in the world who makes documentary films that are filled with as much emotion, excitement, human interest, and humor as the finest fictional films. It's a great pleasure to have him with us tonight. Please welcome Errol Morris. All right. Have a seat, if you will. For the last couple of days, we've been looking at clips of your various motion pictures and enjoyed them a great deal, and we have a couple here tonight. Gates of Heaven.
Yes.
About pet cemeteries. This sounds like it's a little grisly.
Not at all. I think it's a very funny film. And although it's about pet cemeteries, one never sees any dead pets in the film. One is treated instead to a variety of different topics. Pet cemeteries is a setting for a whole assorted number of things that go on.
So it's just the framework in which your movie takes place.
That's exactly right.
How did, talks about two of these, right? Your film deals with two of them. How did you hear about the one or the other? Initially, how did this project begin?
There was an article that appeared in the San Francisco Chronicle, and the headline read, 450 dead pets to go to Napa. And I investigated further. I found out that there was a pet cemetery that had gone out of business about 40, 50 miles south of San Francisco. All the pets buried there were to be dug up, transported north to another pet cemetery where they were to be reburied. And this became the backdrop for the film.
Mm-hmm. We're going to take a look now, I guess, at the first bit of film from Gates of Heaven. And what do we need to know about this?
I should introduce the first clip. These two pet cemeteries, one was very, very, very successful. One was a big failure. And the clips that you'll be seeing this evening are from the pet cemetery, which was a big, big success. And the man who runs it is named Calvin Harberts. This is an enterprise which he has invested a great deal of hope and perhaps even prayer. He was in the human cemetery business in Hawaii.
Okay, so we're going to see Cal here now.
And he came back to California, retired, went into a supermarket and noticed that there was more pet food being sold than baby food. Mm-hmm. And that's when he made the decision to start his own pet cemetery.
Okay.
And you'll see a clip of him and his wife.
This will be Cal, what's his last name?
Cal Harberts.
Harberts and his wife from Gates of Heaven.
The basic tenet of our church, the Bubbling Church of Universal Love, incorporated in January of 1977, is the church has as its tenets a belief in a supreme being who does not differentiate in bestowing his benevolence on all species of life, whether of this earth or any form of life hereafter. The thought occurred to me that any God, any supreme being that was indeed compassionate and concerned about people would surely be concerned about any living creature. God is supposed to know when the sparrow falls, when the lilies of the field bloom. So surely at the gates of heaven, an all-compassionate God or an all-compassionate supreme being is surely not going to say, well, you're walking in on 2 legs. You can go in. You're walking in on 4 legs. We can't take you. I don't believe this will happen.
Now people come up, and there is a common bond. The church, we don't have formal services. We're not trying to save any souls or collect money or anything like that. It's just it's sort of a church of love.
We do not have to go too far afield to make this conversion because we have our own chapel. We have stained glass windows. We even have a bell. And we're usually talking in terms of death and talking in terms of hereafter. Well, this is the very essence of any other religion.
So if in the hereafter there are no pets, I don't think any of us that love our pets would really feel maybe, I can't say we wouldn't want to go, but I really believe that they'll all be there in the spirit.
How does your style of...
By the way, this clip could have been set up a little bit better, because what you're seeing in the clip is after founding the pet cemetery, he has now made the decision to convert it into a church.
Oh, I see. So it's also a religion and a pet cemetery.
Yes,
kind of,
all combined together.
One-stop shopping
Yes.
for pet owners. How does your style of documentary filmmaking differ from other people?
Well, I think you can see, just looking at the clip, that there's been no attempt. A lot of documentary films made today, people have handheld cameras, they scurry around, they try to hide, they try to remain as inobtrusive as possible. In this kind of filmmaking, we stare down the subject, almost like a big game hunter. There's no attempt made to hide at all. In fact, the camera is put on a tripod and they speak directly to the camera. So
Are people receptive to that? Does it take them a while to warm up to that notion?
I think they love it. It gives them an opportunity to perform.
Do these people feel that they're being made fun of or made light of?
Everybody in the film has had an opportunity to see themselves, and they all like themselves in the film, and they all like the film as well.
So it's pretty much a direct representation of what they would be talking about or saying in their own living room or with their friends or whatever, huh?
More or less.
Yeah. All right, Errol, you want to set up this next bit of film for us? And
Okay. Cal, when he started Bubbling Well Pet Memorial Park, the successful pet cemetery,
Bubbling Well,
needed labor. There had to be pets that were picked up from the veterinary offices. There had to be graves dug. And so he hired both of his sons to do the work, Phil and Dan. And part of the film is devoted to their fantasies and their dreams. Dan, although he spends the days digging graves, dreams of becoming a big rock star.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil, who is a successful insurance broker, or maybe not so successful insurance broker, depending on how you look at it, is now driving a refrigerator truck where he takes the dead pets from the veterinary offices. And he has all of these systems, plans for success, formulas that will turn him into a happy, rational, productive person.
Okay, so here's where we meet Phil and Dan. Gates of Heaven.
In former years, I would write like 3 and 4 songs a week, and I've got a little notebook where I've got about probably 50 songs. And, you know, you always have the dream in the back of your mind that someday these songs will be published and you'll be famous. But as you get older, you start realizing that maybe those are just what they were, dreams, you know, nothing more. But dreams are nice to have, something to look forward to. You know, it gives you more satisfaction, something that you can think about.
Our mind is like a computer. You know, if our mind read or extracted a data line from it, if you put in positive, you would get out positive. If you put in negative, you get out negative. So you have to understand that. Our mind is, you know, we can go into a negative part and into a positive part, and then if you really want to get more involved, there's a in-between, that people never get really negative and people never really get positive. They call it the gray area. But the mind reacts to suggestion, and suggestion is merely an external force or an external thing that you perceive through your senses. You know, like your smell, your sight, your feeling. You could even be smelling a big vat of spaghetti, you know, and it suggests to you that you're hungry. So therefore, our strongest power that we have is in suggestion. And the power of prayer, that's the strongest power that we have.
I got a stereo system aside from a recording system. It's a Pioneer SX1010, and it's 100 watts per channel, which is very powerful. And on some occasions, say late afternoon when there's nobody up here at the park, I'll take my speakers and I'll put them outside and turn it up, and you can hear it. It goes through the whole valley, and you can hear it from, you know, miles away.
This is going to be on public broadcasting soon?
I hope it's going to take some time before it goes on to PBS.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression it's going to be on shortly. But we'll look for it when it eventually makes it there. And it's being released again as a motion picture, right?
That's right.
Errol
Yes.
Morris, ladies and gentlemen, director, producer, Gates of Heaven. We'll be right back with comedian Jerry Seinfeld.